Judges chapter 7, Gideon's 300 chosen men. Then Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, and all the people who were with him got up early and camped beside the spring of Harod, and the camp of Midian was north of them by the hill of Morah in the valley. Then the Lord said to Gideon, there are too many people with you for me to hand over to Midian to them. Otherwise Israel will boast about themselves and against me, saying, my own power has rescued me. So now proclaim in the hearing of the people, whoever is afraid and trembling, let him turn back and leave Mount Gilead. So 22,000 men returned home, but 10,000 remained. Since that's a lot of people. Then the Lord said to Gideon, there are still too many people. Bring them down to the water, and I'll test them for you there. Therefore it shall be that of whom I say to you, this one shall go with you, you shall go with you. But every one of whom I say no, I say to you, this one shall not go, he shall not go. So he brought the people down to the water, and the Lord said to Gideon, you shall separate everyone who laps the water with his tongue as a dog laps, as well as everyone who kneels down to drink. Now the number of those who lapped the water, putting their hand to their mouth, was 300 men, but the rest of the people kneeled down to drink water. And the Lord told Gideon, with the 300 men who lapped, I will rescue you and hand you over the Midianites to you. Let all the other people go home, so each man to his home. So the 300 men took the people's provisions for the journey and their trumpets made of ram's horns in their hands, and Gideon sent away all the other men of Israel, each to his tent, but kept the 300 men, and the camp of Midian was below him in the valley. So there are still too many people. God is having him rely on him for his strength, right? Because 22,000 was one that went away. That's a huge amount. And now he's like, here, you're going to take 300 men, and you're going to do this. Now on that same night, the Lord said to Gideon, arise, go down against their camp, for I have given it into your hands. But if you are afraid to go down by yourself, go with Hurrah, your servant, down to the camp, and you will hear what they say. And afterward, you will have the courage to go down against this camp. Then he went down with Purah to his servant to the outpost of the army that was in the camp. Now the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the sons of the east were lying camped in the valley, as countless as locusts, and their camels were without number, as numerous as the sand in the seashore. When Gideon arrived, there was a man telling a dream to his friend, and he said, listen carefully. I had a dream. There was a loaf of barley bread tumbling into the camp of Midian, and it came to the tent and struck it so that it fell and turned it upside down so that the tent lay flat. And his friend replied, this dream is nothing less than the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, the man of Israel. God has given Midian and the entire camp into his hand. When Gideon heard the account of the dream and its interpretation, he bowed down and worshiped. Then he returned to the camp of Israel and said, arise, for the Lord has given the camp of Midian into your hand. He divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and he put trumpets and empty pitchers into their hands, all of them, with torches inside the pitchers. And he said to them, look at me, then do likewise. When I come to the edge of the camp, do just as I do. When I and all who are with me blow the trumpet, then all around the camp you will blow the trumpets and shout for the Lord and for Gideon. Confusion of the enemy. So Gideon and the 100 men who were with him came to the edge of the camp at the beginning of the middle watch, when the guards had just been changed, and they blew the trumpets and smashed the pitchers that were in their hands. When 3 companies blew the trumpets and broke the pitchers, they held the torches in their left hands and the trumpets in their right hands to blow, and they shouted, a sword for the Lord and for Gideon. Then each stood in his place around the camp, and the entire Midianite army ran, crying out as they fled. When Gideon's men blew the 300 trumpets, the Lord set the sword of one Midianite against another, even throughout the whole army, and the army fled as far as Beth Shittah towards Zerazah, and as far as the border of Abel Meholah by Tebeth. The men of Israel were summoned together from the tribes of Naphtali and Asher and all the Manasseh, and they pursued Midian. Then Gideon sent messengers throughout the hill country of the tribe of Ephraim, saying, come down against the Midianites and take control of the water before them, thereby cutting off the Midianites as far as Beth-barah and the Jordan River. So all the men of Ephraim were assembled together, and they took control of the waters as far as Beth-barah and the Jordan. Then the men of Ephraim took the 2 leaders of Midian, and they killed Oreb at the rock of Oreb, and they killed Zeb at the winepress of Zeb, and pursued Midian. And they brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon from across the Jordan. Interesting. But they did it. They did it with God's help, and it was just exactly how God showed him, and it happened. Even though he looked and there was like this, a lot of people, a lot of bad things are all around him, right? The army was huge. He's got his little 300 person army, but God says, I'm gonna be with you. We're gonna defeat this no matter what. So no matter what that big giant problem is around you, no matter how big those giants, those people are, and those situations and circumstances in your life, it's like God can defeat with little old you. He can, or little young you. This is your daily Bible chapter reading God's Word Monday through Friday. See you tomorrow.